Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eli, the only podcast in India where we bring a new founder on every episode to talk about their journey and their story of building a company. And today we have with us Pradeep Govindasamy, who is the founder of QualiZeal, which is one of the fastest growing quality engineering services company in out of India. Hi, Pradeep. Welcome to Eli.
Thank you, President. Thanks for having me here into your podcast. I'm looking forward to share my experience and listen from your interesting questions.
Perfect. Uh, to start with, Pradeep, can you brief us a bit about your journey? When did you start entrepreneurship? Even before entrepreneurship, what are the things you did? How was your early life? How did you arrive at entrepreneurship? And then we'll probably talk about the QualiZeal once we have context around that.
Sounds good, President. This is my successful first startup, which we jointly founded in 2021. But my entrepreneurship started 12 years back. And actually, I had one other startup in 2012, which was towards the IoT. And we were way ahead when we started that, entrepreneurship. I started as one of my passion. I've been having this thinking in my mind that being an IT services employee or a leader within the IT services firm,
Mhm.
I thought why not we start something new, build our own company and then see if we can venture into some new marketplace. Back then in 2012, the IoT was fairly new. No one wanted to explore that. Like how, what is happening today in AI. In 2012, I saw that as an opportunity at IoT. I did it, but we are way ahead of the market, and market didn't, look at it as a product for go to market during that period. So I had to, take a change on my game. So that was my first in 2012, which didn't go to my, success. So I mean, then I realized, what can we do? How can we prepare, market to, listen to what we are building on that, right? In terms of whether it is a services company or a platform or a product. So then I recalibrated. So entrepreneurship has always been with me, from more than a decade now. This is my 25th year in the IT industry.
Mhm.
All towards my 25 years, I've been part of services company product engineering cycle. But QualiZeal, which we co-founded in 2021, have become a huge success. Whatever lessons that I've learned in my first startup, I have to take those, carry forward those experience. Wanted to do the things in the right way, so had to build the right plan and started this firm in 2021. This has been our fourth year of successful, journey with QualiZeal. I can go into depth of it, based on your interest.
Got it. The naming of QualiZeal, is it something around quality engineering? And can you also explain what is this concept of quality engineering?
Of course, yes. So we quality software testing. The co-founders of us have been in this industry for 25 years. And what many people look at software testing as the last stages of their IT life cycle, but we look at it as the first one. That's how we wanted to build, quality first organization. So. We wanted to name with the co-founders, and all of us had that enthusiasm to start a new company. So we just wanted to bring that enthusiasm into naming the company. We felt like quality and zeal, the enthusiasm that we wanted to have. If we can have a combination of it, and zeal is about enthusiasm and growth, quality with zeal is our naming behind it, quality zeal. And our tagline for our company is quality is core, right? The strong-minded, enthusiastic professional with over 25 years of experience. We wanted to redefine the quality for the future generations to come. So, what we are building today is for the future, right? What we took as an experience from the past and implementing the future of quality in forming this quality 4 years back.
Can you give examples of what kind of products and services that you are building?
Sure. So when we built the company in 2021, we saw a purpose. The automation was the need of the hour in 2021. During the pandemic time, everyone were, all moving towards digital first. And, when we looked at the marketplace, the automation within the IT life cycle, more towards the software testing was less than 30%, the industry average. Whereas the analyst and advisory firm have given indications to a lot of those enterprises to go across 70%, given the digital first initiative. So we saw the purpose in 2021. So automation first was our goal when we founded the company. And we were able to get a lot of business during that period. Everybody wanted, "Hey, you guys have built something solid in the automation place," which many of those current providers do not have that vision. So everyone was having a team of manual testers, functional testers to do their day in a job. But we looked at, we wanted to disrupt the industry by taking automation first approach. So that was our goal when we started the company. So we built it for the future. And then along the journey, 2 years back, we saw this AI wave coming in, right? It was a buzzword for many industry folks, but for us, we looked at as a wave that's going to transform, right? So we took it, 24 months back, the AI first journey. So we changed our tagline of our company from being automation first. Now we changed it, 2 years back with automation first, AI led, right? So that was our, the tagline change. We saw that ahead of the game. Now we built our own platform for AI, and we created two stream within the company when we built that AI, right? One, AI for QE. AI for QE is artificial intelligence for quality engineering. We also built another team called quality engineering for AI, right? So we wanted to take the industry wherever the industry want to adopt AI. We want to tell them that I can build the quality for you. Right? That's number one for the industry experience. And number two, within the company, whatever quality engineers and automation first company that we had, we want to infuse AI into every, workforce what we have today, right? And what we have today with about, 750 people, 850 people, we have more than, 500 folks got certified, in the AI space. We transformed and we mandated that every engineer today have to use the AI platform to do the day in a life quality engineering work. So that's how we build the future of quality engineering and AI from the inception of our company.
And how do you deliver to your clients? Is it through the products or platforms, or is it through the services?
So our core team is IT services. We are in the quality engineering, software testing, digital assurance space, right? So we are, buying, our selling is through services, right? And but our delivery is through our platform, right? So when we incepted our company, first platform that we built was QualiCentral, right? So we had our services component and packaged with our platform. So QualiCentral was our legacy platform when we did it that has the automation and various other service lines associated with it. So therefore, our resources use those platforms to deliver the services. 2 years back, we saw this AI, taking the market into a different disruption. This, AI can be a disruptor to software development and software testing space. It can, completely, take down the entire software testing and then say, I can do the same work, with less than 50% of the workforce what you have today. But whereas we took that as a disruptor for growth, we took that as our, platform to tell the market that we are using AI to deliver the services. So we built our Kubernetes AI platform, and it has multiple component. We looked at it as a platformization approach. So in a software IT lifecycle, you have 18 functionalities to deliver. Like how you have a software development lifecycle, which has requirements to production. Within software testing lifecycle, there are 18 different functionality or use case. And Kubernetes AI platform delivers services with the AI for those 18 use cases. So
Yes.
with that platformization approach, today's IT services what we do today is through Kubernetes AI platform. So as I mentioned, more than 50% of the workforce certified in the AI, they know how to use Kubernetes AI platform. They know how to deliver that to our clients. For example, if a client is using requirements driven approach or test-driven development or advanced agile development approach, our team was able to connect to that development approach, whatever the new next generation approach, with the Kubernetes AI platform in hand, they were able to get those deliverables in place ahead of time. So now with that in mind, we are able to solve 60% of cycle time reduction. We are able to solve more than 70% of the test productivity, which is basically test design, test execution approach, and automation first approach. So now all of these today is accelerated through our Kubernetes AI platform. But bottom line, our company is recognized for our IT services approach, but with with the AI led model, right? Automation first AI led through our Kubernetes AI platform is our core engineering services.
Got it. Recently, as a trend, what we have seen, I think this was happening right from 2020s or even before that, when tools like Selenium, SOAP UI, and browser stacks came in. Companies sort of thought that there are products which can take away the testing job. Why do we need testers in the company, or why do we even need to outsource that function? But eventually, people realize that the tools are not enough. There are some components which needs to be tested by a human. So can you give examples around that? Like what part of the testing can be outsourced to a agency or a inside internal team, and what part can be automated through tools?
Sure. I mean, it's a great question, Prem. This has been in the minds of, the more than, we found in the industry more than million testers outside, in the global, testing space. This is one of the, prime, job responsibility. And I just want to give you some experience. This is not the first time it's happening. This is the third time it is happening in the overall IT world, right? In the first, it happened in 2005 when everybody said hey, let's all move from regular testing to a TCOE model, test center of excellence,
Mhm.
in 2005. And then back then everyone said this is going to be a new norm. We do not need as many testers as we want. We are forming a TCOE to deliver that. Therefore it's going to disrupt the entire industry. This was the first wave it happened. And then in 2014, when Agile and DevOps came in, they said testers are dead. There are multiple books that have come, in that during that period, right? And everyone was scared. Hey, is Agile and DevOps is going to take over the market, and disrupt the entire testing industry. But in contrary, the testing world grew, with the name called quality engineering, right? So it has become a tremendous, growth story for us. In the third wave that came with the digital during 2020 period, nobody was talking about testing is going to dead. They all talked about let's build a digital quality engineering. So they were able to graduate themselves into that model. So it did hit the testing industry a lot. But in today's world, with the AI coming in, with the kind of Selenium has taken a back step, and there are a lot of, the coding level test automation tools are taking a hit now. The companies that are getting a highest beneficiary are those companies which are low code, no code, scriptless test automations, and they are, delivering a message to the world that Selenium is dead. And when Mercury days, it was Selenium which said that Mercury is dead. Selenium was introduced to diffuse the poison of mercury. So that's how the naming was formed. And today, the low code, no code companies are telling Selenium is dead. And then it will happen. It is a cycle. But what we are seeing is adopt to those new technologies. Yes, it's going to have the low code, no code approach, the scriptless automation. The AI is going to take over, some of those. But what we are seeing is, the human in the loop, right? The human in the loop with quality engineering, which we are naming it as HIKE, human in quality engineering. I know some call it as human in software testing, human in the loop, in the testing world. We are seeing this is going to take over, right? Is the industry is going to disrupt? Yes. Are you going to take that as a platform for your growth? What we see and what we have seen in the last two times, the companies which has taken it as a growth challenge have survived, have become multi-million dollar companies. So the organization and the skilled workforce is need to adopt that. You cannot say that my job is going to be lost because AI is coming in. You
Mm.
have to come up with an approach that I'm going to be a superpower with the AI in approach. I am that human who's taking that AI approach and deliver that solution to you. I will use some of those AI-led test automation tools. A lot of tools have come actually in the industry. In the last 2 years, we have seen more than 10 AI tools that have come in point solutions. They are saying that I can build agentic, test automation, agentic AI, for test automation approach, for, the performance testing, for security testing. No one has come up with the platform-led approach, like the Kubernetes AI that I talked about. But there are a lot of point solutions have come. So the workforce need to adopt, need to take that as a challenge than to think that, the testing is dead, right? So we have seen that. We have seen that evolution of, testing being called as dead. And it only, grew to the next level of growth in our IT life cycle.
Yeah, I think thanks for bringing that up. The concept of a human in the loop. I think this is an interesting topic, which is in discussion currently on various forums on internet. And I was reading it somewhere that the demand for testers is growing, which is a irony because AI has been taking away a lot of jobs. But testing is one space which is growing because number one, AI is pretty good at writing code, and hence companies are able to churn more products, more solutions very fast within a short frame of time. But there is nobody to test those solutions, and until it is tested, it's not market ready. So there is a huge demand for testers out there. Can you can you share your thoughts around that? Am I correct when I say that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is a good, input into that. Yes, the testing is seeing a highest future now. Why? Because I brought two approach right in the beginning. One is AI for QE and QE for AI. Right. So this is where it is. The QE for AI is the one that's taking the market into storm of growth actually. Why? Because the approach to deliver, or to test those AI application pose a significant challenge. You have to do the bias testing, and you have to deal with hallucination. How do you trust those AI? What is the trustability approach in each phase of those, decision-making process? And there is, ethics testing, behavioral testing. So the kind of testing, what we used to do more, in the old legacy world, regular functional testing, regression testing, performance security. With the AI, all these are new concepts. The companies want to test. You can have the AI tools to develop, but the testing, when you put that into a consumer-facing applications, you cannot release those to production. It can harm, right? It can cost you a company itself. It can cost you in millions when you expose those, defects into production without a thorough testing in place, especially when AI comes in. And it poses a lot of this hallucination, trustability, transparency, ethical, behavioral. All these are new concepts, and you need to come up with test cases. You need to come up with test automation for those functionalities to verify and come up with those. And the number two is all these look at all these models actually, the LLMs, right? So now the prompt engineering, the LLMs, you need to verify those prompts. You need to verify what you are bringing in as your LLM approach, all right? And plus you need to deal with security in place and the performance in place, accessibility in place. All these are a growth area for us. No, that's why I said that if the testing team knows how to do that, and learn all those technologies, all those concepts of AI, and come up with methodology and framework, this is a growth area for the quality engineers in the AI space. This would I would call a high growth green period. Uh, but is the manual testing going to have a hit? Yes, that's going to degrow for sure. The regular functional testing will degrow. Where I see a growth is in the QE for AI, the kind of concepts that I have just outlined. No, that's where I'm seeing high growth potential for us in the IT industry.
Got it. Uh, can you take examples of the use cases? Where do you see future of quality engineering heading? Like, what kind of new use cases will come up in the testing space. There are new ways of digital products coming up. There are vernacular digital products which are available in multiple languages. So these need to be tested by a different set of people, different with different skill sets who are language experts. There are voice AI applications. Lot of different products are coming up with only mediums. So that needs to be tested by again a different set of experts. So I'm just giving examples that I know, but you are the expert in that. Can you comment on what are the new use cases
Absolutely.
and testing concepts
Yeah.
coming up?
Sure. I'll take two examples of it. One of the example I want to give a consumer facing application, right? On a day in a life, especially in a lot of those grown countries, you will see a garage door, in many houses, which you can operate through a remote systems, right? And in good old days, you have a physical remote in hand, and then now came the app, right? Where you can use the app to open the garage. It's one of the highest user consumers in many worldwide high growth households, right? Or even in the commercial space. What we are seeing is adoption of AI into those garage doors. And now these garage door companies are using image-based AI-led approach, right? Wherein it can take those camera-based approach and then tell you if a particular resident has come or the car has come, and look at a lot of visual images and OCR screening, and provide you with a lot of those AI led to tell you, okay, the real user, the real household person has come, let me open it without even they touch it, right? Those lot of those AI concepts are being infused into those consumer facing physical devices, firmwares, garage doors, household doors, and all. So they're infusing all, but testing that, that led to a lot of risk also, right? What if somebody can hack, or what if some of those functionality, transparency, trust, ethics, behavior, a lot of things that you need to verify to test those systems before you put onto the production of that, right? That's the test cases that we need to write. That's the test functionality we need to verify to make sure that you're not releasing defects into production. You have to have a 100% full blown into that. You cannot even release even a single defect into production, especially the severity one. So therefore, the kind of testing that you need to do when you're infusing AI into a consumer facing application is where you will see a lot of those testability approach need to happen. That's just one example where we are doing today on those the garage doors as an example. The other one is a lot of those chat bots, right? If you look at, if you're in an insurance industry, you probably would know, if you log into an insurance, if it is property or casualty or home life, any of those insurance, the chat bots, if you go before, you will see the human in the chats window, the real person, and then they got a lot of bots into that, right? But you don't trust those bots. In good old days, yeah, I need to speak to the human, get me the human in, because you can easily recognize whether it is bot or human, right? But
Hmm. Yeah.
today, with the AI coming in, it is very tough for the human to recognize whether you're talking to a AI, talking to the bot, or talking to the human. The AI has taken a huge, technology advancement in those chatbot. We are seeing that in those insurance base, where the AI is super intelligent to talk to that human and provide all the details, including the quote, including the policy coverage, many of those things as well. So that's a use case. We have seen that we have tested those LLMs, because chatbots interact with LLMs, the prompts that you need to have, as many prompts, the learnings that you need to have, the securities that you need to have, the kind of use cases that you need to test those chatbots have
Hmm.
taken a higher adoption. So we have seen, one of our strongest bases, our insurance in the property and casualty division. We have tested a lot of those AI infused chatbots, and that has gone into production actually. So those are some of those two use cases, the real-time use cases we have seen that have taken. What I have shared is B2C. the consumer-faced applications, but we are now, taking the next generation of B2B also now. A lot of those, the retailers, the airlines, the hospitality industries are now taking the B2B approach and infusing AI into that world, right? For example, SAP, if you look at, which is completing their migration of their S4HANA platform by 2028. They are migrating the ECC to the S4HANA. They're introducing Joule as the AI, but you need to test. You need to they have the AI, but as a testing team, we need to look at every customization of those for every instances that a company need to do. Right? It poses a lot of challenge. Right? Distribution centers can be different, country rules can be different, state specific rules can be different, and multiple sets of products can implement different sets of instances with respect to the SAP, right? Joule can provide that AI as a functionality, but as a testing you need to inherit or you need to customize it for every instances of it. So these are some of the real life use cases we have seen that the company can adopt and showcase the value to the end customers.
Got it. So I'm just wondering, a lot of these testing concepts are belonging to the IT and software industry, but can they be extrapolated to other industries? Like you gave example of airlines, aviation, but can it be also applied to travel, manufacturing, healthcare? I think these are the industries which do not usually go for testing anything. I mean, it's so alien to them as a concept. So, what is your thought on that?
Yeah, it's a good one. I categorize them into three buckets, right? So one is the cruise line, the airline. If you take, they'll be the first adopter. The retail cruise line and airline, they want to show to the customers how advanced they are, right? Because they are touching that, real life, day in a life examples, right? The parks, right? And like, for example, Disney's and Universal Studios, the cruise lines, where they see hundreds and now thousands of consumers, they want to infuse the AI first. They want to deliver that. So that, that's a testing immediate use case for us. The second industry, which you have highlighted, which are very legacy driven, right? Manufacturing, the production industries, the chemical industries, those are companies that will be they want to, they are looking at all these buzzwords, but they will be the last adopter into that. But what we have seen in the AI, they are forming groups, they are investing AI. We have seen that 10% of their IT budgets they are allocating into the AI, even in those manufacturing and production industry. More on the development side, more on the tool side, we are going to see that as another adoption, in that space. But they will be the last adopter. I'm looking at them to take over the market by 2028, now time frame, 2028 to 2030. We will see that higher adoption in those space. The third industry, which we call that as regulatory industry, right? Which has a lot of governance and regulation. If you take life sciences or pharma industry, healthcare industry, the consumer facing healthcare application, you will see an adoption, no doubt. But the core, applications in the healthcare space, right, or in the life sciences, a clinical trial that's going to happen, they will be, they want to see the trustability. They don't want to have hallucinated AI to come and take over those good old 30 years of legacy trials that are happening or healthcare. They still use mainframe. Some of those companies still use all those core development into that, but they are also evaluating, they also want to take that market significantly, but they are in a checking mode today. No, they are talking, they are coming to conferences, they want to understand what the AI is all about. But I can tell you in 2026 is when they will start to pilot it, right? Within that regulatory industries, they divide them into the consumer phase, which they are ready to deploy it. I don't see that as a challenge. Where I see the adoption is going to take a time is within that, the regulated, where you have a compliance in place, where you need to look at all those standards that need to be met, data that need to be verified and thoroughly tested. Because AI can bring a lot more dimensions in terms of its own hallucination. That probably they need to verify that trustability need to be there. right? But as the IT services providers, companies need to bring that confidence. This is where the IT services provider will take the lead on that to showcase to those regulated industry that we can come and provide that trustability to you and deliver that software to you and infuse those AI into your legacy applications.
Got it. All right. So here is my final question. A lot of our listeners are founders themselves. In fact, a lot of them are internet-based tech entrepreneurs who specialize in building stuff. So their skill set is to build things, but they don't have the specialty of testing. They don't have that attention to details, finding faults in the systems, and so on. What would you advise to them, all the budding entrepreneurs, on how they should go about testing as a concept?
Yeah, it's a great question. I want to tell you, all the budding entrepreneurs, the first timers, they will say that, I'm developing with a lot of quality. That's their mind. But what they will miss out is, have a dedication to quality. They all very passionate about building their products. I have no doubt in that. They will, and it's all world-class products and all. But they will look at testing as something like let my customer test it, right?
Hmm.
And that's where they'll miss out. They will release, and the consumers and the customers who they take the product with their vision, with what the entrepreneur's vision in mind, they get curious about it. Oh, you built something, that I've not thought about it. This is exactly what I want. But when they take it into the place, and even if a small defect comes, the risk will be very high. The consumers will say, customers will say, no, no, no. Um, I see this is because when the customers take it, they have their own set of users within that customers. They want to break the system because they don't want to make the change. They
Hmm.
don't want to bring a new change to their own companies. What they will do, they will first, ensure that the system will fail, the system will break. That's the approach consumers will take, right? Customers will take because they don't want to adopt a new that may cost them, their job or their day in a life, right? They will try to break. That's where the entrepreneurs need to have that vision in mind that, whether you're using a third party to do the testing or allocate certain budgets to provide higher quality, as much as you equally invest on development, invest on quality also. That's why I'm not using the word testing, and I want to use quality. That has to be in your life cycle from day one, actually. You need to have a quality first mindset when you're developing an applications or product or a platform, and especially when you're going to hit the consumers in mind, right? So that's my sharing of experience, what I've seen, where entrepreneurs will take the approach on
Absolutely. I think I can resonate with what you just said. In fact, more than uh, building something, you should spend more time into testing that, because I, being a product manager myself, I have seen how customers value a quality product when you give it to them. When things are not breaking, when there are no errors, they value it a lot more than a buggy product. Having said that, on this note, we have come to the closure of the session. Thanks for joining us, Pradeep. Pleasure to have you on our platform. And thanks for educating us on the world of testing. And I think you've clarified a lot of questions around, how AI is taking away jobs, how AI is changing the world of testing, and whether testers should be afraid of, this whole wave of AI coming in and taking away jobs. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.